Didn't mean to scare you.
Thank you. I scared my friend the other day. I've scared him multiple times. I've walked into his house. He's my next door neighbor. One time he was getting ready, and I just stood in the one blind spot in his living room until he walked by. Then the other day, I walked in with his kids, and he was in the kitchen cooking lunch. And his kids announced me, but he was too busy talking to his father-in-law. And then I stood up right behind him. And he turned around with a frying pan. And not surprisingly, he jumped back. He had a weapon. His kids were there, and he jumped back. He did not lean into the fear.
This isn't going to make the episode, you know that.
Oh. So, to make it into the episode, how do we lean into the fear in our businesses? And I did that this morning. If you'd like me to tell you about it, I will.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. We're glad that you're here with us. John's here again. Hey, John. You can't hear it, but you're getting...
Happy hands.
Yes, you're getting applause. So you were about to tell me a story about leaning into fear in your business. And I'm not sure if I want to... do I want to hear the story?
Yes.
Do they want to hear the story?
What do you say, folks? Do you? That's where you hit the applause button again.
Well, I don't. There's other buttons that I'm thinking about hitting. Anyways.
Coming to you live from Studio City.
This is recorded and it's not Studio City. So tell me about leaning into fear in your business that you did this morning.
I'm going to call out a friend on LinkedIn. Maybe you could do a screen share of his post.
Okay. Yeah.
So that the readers can see it. Readers?
John, you're not a writer like I am.
I am a writer.
I don't think you have a published book.
Self-publishing is not publishing.
It's on the internet. You can buy it. It's a book.
I am a writer. Right?
So this post.
Hang on. I got to get to his thing. Are you going to put the cold open in?
Depends.
I feel like it's a good tee-up. It wasn't as good as the one that everybody liked.
I don't want to overuse the cold open, though. Like, okay, if you're watching or listening to this, comment below. Do you like the random cold opens? Because it definitely doesn't, well, I shouldn't say definitely doesn't. It typically doesn't like follow what we're going to be talking about. It's just us doing a sound check and making sure everything's on. But do you enjoy it? Or is it distracting and you want it just to get to the business?
And we are looking just for comments so that we can start to trend better, right? Comments help you trend?
I mean, you're supposed to be the marketing guy.
I'm not a marketing guy. I'm a content marketing guy. Storyteller.
And this is content. And it's marketing. So...
Let's get to the fear. So I have a friend out in upstate New York. His name is Jason Pearl. He is a business strategist, sales strategist. And he wrote just 2 hours ago on this day, February 10th, not to date the episode. Did I just date the episode?
That's fine.
All right.
Don't know what year.
2026.
Now you did the episode.
When your services start to feel chaotic, leaders often blame clients. Wrong target. Service/scope creep is almost always self-inflicted. It happens when you say yes without guardrails, your offerings aren't clearly defined, you're afraid to tighten scope for the same price. Clients aren't trying to break your business. They're responding to what you made available. Strong businesses create confidence by being specific. Full service is too open-ended, that allows creep. Full service is too open-ended, that allows creep. Clarity isn't restrictive. It's respectful to your team and your clients. Thank you, Jason Pearl. So I had
That's good wisdom.
Well, it's just funny because I was talking to Ryan Miller. Shout out to Ryan Miller.
Hey, Ryan.
The R in T-Jar. Shout out to Aaron.
The R in T-Jar. That's going to be very confusing for everybody because they have no idea. That doesn't mean anything to them.
Shout out to Aaron Zapata.
Man, you are just throwing them all in.
And that's the A in T-Jar.
Yeah, they don't know what that is. Just keep going.
I'm the J in T-Jar. He's the T. They don't know and they don't care and they're going to love it. Because now we're going to start selling merch that says T-Jar.
No, we're not. I'm not selling T-Jar
We're not going to
merch.
give those. We're not going to give the R any residuals.
Would you just go on with...
So Ryan Miller and I were having this conversation this morning where I was just like the antsiness of things. And so then I read that post, the antsiness being what am I doing with my business? Where am I going with my business? I've been doing this for, only a few 15 years or so. And I'm turning 45 this year. Gosh, that's old. I know you're already.
I'm 45. I just turned 45.
You're way too
young looking.
Yes,
I agree.
And handsy with the microphone.
Got to do what you got to do.
That's right. So we were having this conversation about just like, where am I going to lean in? I said specifically, like, I don't want to do websites anymore. And I'm terrified to say that live. I don't want to do websites anymore. I just want to do content marketing. I want to do the recurring content. That's good for business. It's good for people. The recurring content is what helps them. It helps their business stay top of mind, which I know a lot of people hate that phrase. It helps their business stay present, et cetera, et cetera. So,
well, wait, just because people don't like the term top of mind
doesn't mean it's wrong.
And I don't know that that's true.
Yeah.
That everybody doesn't like that. However, it means what it means.
Should we cancel the haters?
We should always cancel the haters.
All right, you're canceled, haters. But if you do want to do content marketing, please reach out to me.
Even if they're a hater?
Listen. No, I'm saying no. So then we have that nice conversation. Ryan is a wonderful challenger, affirmer, but also doesn't let me, dabble in, the ether. He wants me to take action. So, all right. Then I read that Jason's comment. Then Ryan tagged me in that comment saying, "Hey, Jason, great thing. John and I were just talking about this," and I'm like, "Oh gosh." And then I go for a walk, and all I'm thinking about on my walk is a guy in the same business center that we've been in for a few years, that I talked to a year ago about his business, and then I talked to him about 2 months ago. He came over to me, and he's like, "Hey, why don't you do my website? Why don't you do some stuff?" And then I got like, just
business.
Oh, yeah, I'll do whatever it takes to get the money. And then, just in my internal talks with the team, it's like, it's complicated. There's things. We have to do all these subs and things. And I just don't want to do it. I want to do it, but I guess it's not what I personally do.
Let's define those terms.
Go ahead.
You don't want to do the websites because of the effect it has on your overall business.
Yes.
But you do want to do the websites because you want to make sales, because you want to be successful in your business.
Well, and I always view websites or other projects like that, as feeders to the recurring. But
yes.
And it can happen. Or I can just say, yes, we will do the recurring when you're ready, or now, or when your website's done, or when your website's being done, or whatever. I can say to the person, this is what I do. And that's the hard part.
Okay, so question about this, because I think this is a good conversation to have. Do you not have a dedicated either web person or web contractor that you can say, hey, this is the person that we use inside of our system?
I can do that. I can also just decide it's now time to just refer the business to those people, or have the network and the process where this is who gets, this is you, and you pay them. Because, do I need to take a cut of everything? Yes, no, I don't know. Or a referral kickback? Sure, maybe. Or just lean in and focus on what I do best and let all the other stuff just kind of like go.
So question for you though.
Please, push back.
Is the website not the first step to get to where you're doing content marketing?
It can be, but at that point, there's plenty of business out there that already have a good looking website or just needs some modifications, and I can bring somebody in or refer them. See, that's where I get caught up in it again. It's the minutia, and I'm probably overthinking it to a certain degree, but I think there's also that moment where for me, like, so on the walk, I walked by the guy's office, or I was walking there, and I was like, oh, I'll go a long way so I don't walk by his window and him see me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go into his office right now and just have the conversation. I said, hey, Sean, I'm sorry. We've decided we're not going to pursue website projects anymore. And I said, but we are going to continue to lean in and focus on content marketing and storytelling. And he said, oh, yeah, well, tell me more about that. And so now we're building a scope at his request to start a scalable content marketing program for him because he doesn't want to grow. He doesn't want to 10x. He wants to have good, steady growth for the next 5-10 years.
Wise.
And that's content marketing. It brings in more of the organic traffic than you may, you're going to get organic referrals, but content marketing really does bring in more of those organic referrals. It greases those conversations when you're not having them. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. And I think this is a perfect segue into just talking about this in general, specifically because we're recording a podcast episode right now about business where we're sharing your insights inside of your business and what you do in your business.
Yes.
That potentially would have somebody watching this say, oh, John does content marketing. That's great. And specific example, since we've been doing this, have you been recognized on the street?
Yes.
Not from Red Mallard, but from the podcast, right?
Yes.
I mean, in addition to, because everybody loves Red Mallard. Everybody knows who Red Mallard is. And same thing for me.
Not enough people know.
That's why we're doing the podcast.
I see.
So, but same thing for me as I've been posting this podcast more.
Sorry, I'm wearing swishy.
Yeah, this is not a good sound for the podcast.
Should I take off my windbreaker?
No, just don't move. Perfect. But the perfect example, we've been posting this more. It's tax season.
Yes.
I'm talking about things that are potentially going to bring in clients. I'm not directly marketing in several instances, but I have had people reach out like, oh, that's right.
Right.
Oh, yes, I need to talk to you about this. And that is exactly why the consistent content marketing is important. But then there's the entrepreneur trap of,
yes,
I got to make the money, which
yes,
I've done for years. You've done for years. That's just when you run a business. I gotta make sure I have the amount of revenue to cover what I need to cover.
Right.
So we say yes.
We say yes.
And the discipline of saying no and being specific in your offerings is really, really difficult, especially when it's something that somebody says, hey, can you do this? I'll pay you for it. And my first response is absolutely. Point in case, podcasting. I know how to do podcasting. I've done podcasting for myself. I've done video content for others.
Yep.
I had the thought years ago of I'm going to do content and I'm going to do accounting and I'm going to do taxes and I'm going to do financial CFO work. And the and kills you because you can't provide the best service if you're doing everything. But you do need to have a system or a network, how you can help those people with the things that they need help with so that they still can come back and say, hey, John's a trusted resource. Todd's a trusted resource.
Right.
I'm going to remember them because they hooked me up with this person or this company or whatever to do the thing that then gets them back to you eventually.
One of my favorite business moments that involved me trying to do all the things, it worked out, but it was a lot of stress. We were putting on one of my long-term clients that I had years ago was the Energy Company of Portugal.
Wow.
Thank you.
You're international, John.
I was. Well, it was their North American operations.
Okay.
Bum, 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 bum.
I worked in Alaska. Does that mean I'm international? No, it's still America.
I thought that was Russia.
No, very much America.
Not
Alaska.
for long. Don't ask me how I know.
Okay.
Ask me in the comments, though. So that was we got that account. It was a great account through a close friend. But one of the coolest opportunities was he called me and he said, this is back in 2015. My wife had just had a baby, our second child. We were living with her parents, and it was a crazy time. We were moving into a new house and doing some work, but it was a lot of stress. And he calls me and he says, hey, the global CEO is coming to tour some of the facilities. They did solar and wind farms and stuff. And I need your help to help me put on an event. And what turned out to be 3 locations culminating in a Las Vegas destination. There were helicopters and Escalades and all these things involved. My big part was getting a temporary tent set up in the middle of, Apple Valley, desert in the middle of a solar farm and having catered with scallops and an espresso machine and couscous and all that kind of stuff, portable air, porta potties that probably.
So you were an event planner for this.
I was a broker of all kinds of things. But to your point though, it's like when you have the right people in your network, you can pull off amazing things.
True.
The challenge is like, okay, I got to serve tea to the global CEO. That was like the fun part. Like we got like 75 people. The guy's number 2 comes over and he's like, "Can you get Mr. Messias some tea?"
The hell they talk?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know if he was Portuguese or Italian easy or eggs over easy. Can you say that? Is that?
So you brought him tea.
I brought him tea. And it's just fun, it's just like it was like those, like, this was my thing, and it was a fun event. But I didn't branch out and start doing those all the time because I didn't want to. It was a lot, and what I realized is like, okay, with all the time and everything, like I don't think I made that much money on it. Like it felt cool at the moment, like, oh, this is a big project, and then all of a sudden you look back at all the time that you spent, and I didn't factor in any of the overhead that was involved. And typically what business owners tend to do when they're solopreneurs or they've got small teams, they rarely factor in, case in point me, my time involved in the project and the overhead that I am responsible for personally. Because if the owner closes a deal, they probably don't often. How often do you see this in your business? Do you factor in a commission for you when you close the deal?
Well, and my business works differently than that because of the nature of taxes and accounting.
Right.
But I was just talking with a client this morning, and we were going through their job costing, their construction company, and we're trying to decide how much to allocate of the wages for project managers and estimators above the line to direct cost, because that's truly a cost of the project.
Right.
But if you don't factor it in and you're not tracking it, your gross margin is actually wrong.
Way off.
So you think you've got a 40% gross margin on a project, but because of the PM having to take extra time, the owner having to jump in, or you've got an estimator that had to go back 3-4 times on the drawings because there were changes or whatnot, and you're not capturing that, your whatever 40% margin turns into 20% margin real quick.
Yep.
And if you're not aware of that, you go to the net profit at the end of the year and you're like, why was my profit margin only 8% when historically I'm at 12 to 13?
Right.
It's because you're not paying attention to those little details that add up over time.
Yep.
And as entrepreneurs and business owners, we are so focused most of the time on top line revenue, because if you don't have top line revenue, you don't have a business.
Yep.
But eventually you have to get to the point where, okay, top line revenue is good and consistent, and yes, we're going to focus on that. But if you don't track the details, which is why having accurate accounting is important, you get into trouble where you're like, where did all the money go? How do I not have? I'm supposed to have a 50% margin on these jobs that I bid. And then at the end of the day, I actually have a 2% net profit. That doesn't work. My business is broken.
Yeah.
And it's because you're not paying attention to those little factors that all add up to be part of delivering the service, whatever that service may be.
It happens to so many people, and you don't, if
it happens to everybody at some level. Everybody at some level.
I don't feel like you should correct me publicly in this public square, as you just put it. It's embarrassing.
I think it's important
demeaning
that we're accurate to say that everyone at some point gets there. And the levels of that is different.
And respectfully, I agree with you, because that's what friends do in a public square.
Wait, correcting or?
I don't know. I'm just trying to put together content for a good short, because that's where our metrics are. Speaking of metrics,
well, let's finish this conversation. So
I'd like to jump around.
You're finding that it's really becoming more important for you to narrow your scope and be specific in your offerings, so that you can be efficient and do the best at what you do, so that your customers get the best product possible.
And when I explained that to the guy, he said, absolutely. Why would you do it any differently? Because he's 10 years older than me. He's been in business just as long or longer. And
what type of business is it?
Janitorial, commercial cleaning, things like that. And the guy has a great business, and he was like, yeah, well, like, let's figure it out. Give me a scalable approach that like makes sense for our budget and how I can integrate you. And, because he just wants more organic growth. And that's exactly, like what this kind of medium does is, if you don't have a podcast and you look at us and you're like, I could do this better than those two idiots. You
Probably
should.
True.
And then hire us to produce it, or hire Todd and I'll help you with the brainstorming and the content strategy.
Well, contract with us and we wouldn't do it, but we have a producer, Jake Frazier, who is fantastic at doing those kind of things.
Yeah, I don't want to do equipment stuff. But
No.
you can do that. You can advise.
But here's the thing.
Go ahead.
I really love this. Like, I enjoyed the fact that, like, this is a different desk setup today, and we had to move some of the things around, and I had to change some of the lighting, and I need to get some more lighting. I actually just enjoy it. Like, it's a hobby that also doubles as a business
element.
Thank you.
Output.
Support, sir. It's marketing. But I like talking about the different kind of microphones and the technology and the Stream Deck and the Rodecaster Pro 2 and the Sony cameras that we have in here, and I enjoy it.
I have no interest in any of that.
And that's totally
I like
fine.
showing up, and I like being on-screen talent.
You like being and being talent is great.
Thanks.
But being talent and being able to produce it.
Oh.
I don't know if it's better. It's just different.
So where do you feel like AI lands in your production?
In which way? As far as content,
are you utilizing AI to kind of like do some post-production often? Or
yes.
Like what's handcrafted versus AI crafted?
Well, I think it's funny because it's all together.
Right.
I think it's hard to separate those a lot of times because enter the Plod AI.
We were supposed to turn this on.
No, we're not going to do that.
Oh.
We already have a Plod episode. People know about it. Hey, if you don't already have it, this is the Plod AI. It is a recorder. I have one already. John now is getting it into it himself. It's a audio recorder that also transcribes and then creates meeting notes for you so that you don't have to take meeting notes ever again. And actually, I will give the plug to the guy who introduced me to it, Ryan Miller. So come full circle.
Who?
Ryan Miller.
Oh, yeah.
He introduced it to me.
You should get a affiliate link before you post this episode.
Well, I already have an Amazon affiliate link. So if you go down below to the show notes, you'll see that there's a link to Plod AI that you can go get it for yourself.
And a copy of Do Things, The Burn Things.
Burn your plans and do things.
Yes, that one too. That's the
sequel.
book
that I've written.
I wrote Do the Things to Burn the Things, and then the sequel is what you wrote.
Burn the boats.
Yeah.
So back to our point so that we can stay on track here. The importance of narrowing your scope is beneficial not only to you, but to your team and to your clients.
Yes.
But having a network where you could, in your case, hand off a website build with somebody that you know is going to build something that you can integrate into whatever you're going to be doing with content is very important.
Here's another example. So maybe you're faced with this challenge where you're like, you're gobbling up all the services because the clients keep handing them to you, or the prospect brings you the thing and you kind of know how to do it. I was just joking with Jake out there, Todd's brother, and, I asked him how many years he's been, practicing the CPA accounting thing, and he said his first year was last year. I said, in the entrepreneurial space, we say the first year is your experience, the second year you're an expert. And that's...
Who says that?
I say it.
Oh, I was going to say that. That's pretty... yeah. That's not true.
You're,
how many years does it take to be an expert?
I wouldn't say it's lying.
1,000 hours?
10,000.
10,000 hours. That's not a year.
It's not a year, but I wouldn't say it's lying. I would say it's wishful thinking, fabricating. It's lying. It's not lying. Yeah. It's a state of mind.
Being an expert is a state of mind. I'm missing. I am not tracking. But a year does not make you an expert. So I think let's be clear on that.
Right. So going back to that event I did in...
Did we finish the conversation about Jake in
I'm getting there.
1 year? Okay.
So going back to that whole event, down to the littlest details out in the desert, we had like branded cookies and you had little promotional swag and things. So you're all these elements of people that are working, and you have to figure out how to upsell all those things, or you create these affiliate or these referral relationships or business transactional agreements. Like we've got one with one of our clients, Eagle Graphics. They do amazing promotional product programs. They aren't just, there to like get you some branded mugs. They will put together an entire database, portal for your entire company to order stuff through. They do big things for big clients. And we for years we've been ordering business cards for one of our clients. For numerous clients, we've done like the design. We'll do the brokered account with, companies, and it was working like clockwork because we had a lot of business in that area. But then it's just kind of dried up. And so we keep trying to do it for some of the same accounts. At a certain point, you just run into more and more headaches because you're trying to focus on the thing you do well. And then all of a sudden, oops, an order comes in and, this business card order was wrong. Who's going to pay for it? And so what we did was with that big client who orders, tens of thousands of cards a year, we just said, you know what? We've reached a point where the best thing for you guys in your growth is to work with somebody direct to handle not only the ordering, but just the graphics, to handle all the changes that go into it. And you can and they will empower you to do this and have a hands-on approach, your own portal. And so it was an easy introduction, and you think to yourself, why didn't I do this years ago? Because you didn't.
Well, and because you need the revenue. I still think
there's a revenue component.
There's a practical part of it that says in the early days, you kind of have to say yes to everything.
Right.
Because you have to get somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, we were ordering dozens and dozens of boxes of cards a month for 10 plus clients, for like 7-8 years ago. It's just, it's gone away. People are doing less cards. That's just the industry.
Yeah.
Some people that are still doing cards are doing higher end cards. So that requires a little bit more knowledge too of like paper and UV coatings and silk laminations and QR codes, and
which at that point it's like hand it off to somebody who is a card person.
Yeah, because they're passionate, they know how to charge for it, they know how to make money from it, and then so many of these things that you're not an expert at, you will end up, if you look at the bottom line, look at the P&L, look at really factoring in all the time that went into it, you probably lost money.
Absolutely.
Or broke, maybe, luckily you broke even, or you made $1, but most of the time you'll lose money.
And I think there's multiple ways, but I think two main ways to look at that situation, where you took on a project that maybe you shouldn't have taken on, and you end up either breaking even or losing a little bit of money.
Yes.
One way is, that's terrible, it's not helping my business, and so I'm going to just focus on the things that I do well. The other side of it that I find to be actually valuable is the experience you have from going through that teaches you several different things. One, it potentially teaches you about a different industry. If I hadn't gone down the rabbit hole of doing content for other people, I would not have this studio that we're in right now. I never really made a lot of money doing the content thing, but I made enough to cover the things that were happening around me.
Yep.
You are doing cards for a long time, and you recognize the card industry changes. You maybe broke even or made a little bit of money. At the end of the day, you learned, hey, these are the things that I know about cards. I know exactly the people to send you to. When you're talking about it, you know the verbiage and the technology behind the cards so that you can speak to it credibly, but then hand it off to somebody that actually does the work.
Yeah.
I find that all the time in what I do, because I have, being a CPA and talking about taxes and finances, I have touched a lot of different types of industries, but I've not really worked in those industries. One of the industries specifically is construction. I'm very well versed in construction. I've done a lot of work with contractors, and I understand that world. But if you told me to go run a project, I would not be good at that. Mm-hmm. But the knowledge that I've gained allows me to know how I can help that person better. Yep. So all that to say, going down the road of taking everything that you can so that you can live your life and run your business is one thing. And at a certain point, you recognize there's a lot of valuable things I learned from that, but it's actually best for my business to focus on a singular vertical or an industry specific approach that will maximize, because I can do that work more efficiently and effectively than trying to do all these things. Like for me to do a tax return now, I've been doing it since 2009. Like I do a tax return pretty darn quick.
Yeah.
And I look at documents and I kind of already know where it's going to land because I've been doing it so long, which means I can serve my people better, but my cost is still, and my cost for me to do it is less, so my profit is greater.
So like one idea that comes to mind just thinking about your life is you don't have to wonder what it would be like to live on the road.
True.
Because you spent a year, or how long did you
86 days.
86 days, which is almost a year.
Yes, 86 days in a 40-foot diesel pusher.
365 minus 86 is
not a year.
Is not almost a year.
No. It was a long time, though.
If you love math and you can do that problem, put your answer in the comments below, and we'll see if it's right on the next recording.
But yes, I know what it's like to live on the road, and I have clients that have lived on the road and worked on the road, and meaning we were in a motorhome 86 days, 43 states, went into Canada. Fantastic. If you ever have the opportunity to go on a road trip like that with your family, do it. It's amazing.
Did you cross the border legally?
Yes, we did.
Into Canada?
Into Canada.
And then you came back illegally?
No, we came back legally.
Can you cross the United States border illegally as a legal citizen?
I don't know. I would think there'd be a lot of intent because you can travel. Like you have a passport that they check, if you go to a border checkpoint. But if technically, I guess if you're asking, if you went up to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho and found a spot that went into Canada and there was no border patrol there and you crossed the border.
And then hop back in.
I mean, but if you have your passport and if they ask you for it and identify yourself, I don't see why that's a problem.
I don't either.
Okay.
So you're still not on the road, right? You guys came back?
Oh, no. Yeah, we very much came back.
How many years ago was that?
That was 2017, 2018.
And you haven't done it since?
No, but we talk about it all the time. We would love to go do it again.
Why aren't you doing the thing?
Because the kids. I mean, because we're right at the tail end of high school. This is, sorry, audience, if this is not interesting.
They want to know about our personal lives.
But our kids, our twins are graduating from high school this year. They all were in sports. They all, they did all of those things, and my wife and I wanted them to experience all that.
Yeah.
And so there was no reason to go. But now we're talking about, we're getting to the point where they're all going to be more on their own. Nobody's necessarily leaving home quite yet.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Not necessarily. I mean, I like my kids. I enjoy them. We have a good time. My son's working here.
I mean, sure. We all say that in the public square.
No, not everybody says that.
No.
I've seen some people that talk badly about their kids.
Who?
I don't know the people.
Oh, very good.
I don't associate with those.
I love my children also.
Yes. So what was that rabbit hole for?
Because it kind of goes to you done the thing,
mm-hmm.
and you decided not to keep doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of goes to this whole equation today of like, I tried
mm-hmm.
it. It worked out, but it also wasn't meant to be forever.
Yes.
Like for me,
great experience.
For me, storytelling, brainstorming, and creating content for people is the thing. What I struggle with still though is the thing for me. The doing my own content. That is, I mean, I'm doing it now, but it's your platform. It's not John Welch's featuring Todd Frazier.
You're right. It's Todd Frazier featuring John Welch's.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I'm always happy to have you here.
But it is that element of like, okay, well, when are you going to, get off the pot, or the other thing?
Well, so I think that it's, everybody has a different speed at which they do that. Everybody has a different cadence at which it makes sense for them. And everybody also finds the right path at a different point. Do
you ever struggle with the purpose of it all?
do I struggle with the purpose of life?
Yes.
I believe the purpose of life is to, we won't get into religious stuff right
Why
now,
not?
but well,
It's everything.
It is everything. Like the purpose of life is ultimately for me to live in eternity with my Savior.
Why not
Jesus
for me
Christ.
too?
Well, I just said for me.
Why don't you share your faith with me?
Because you share the same faith.
I see.
Yes.
Are they listening in heaven?
I don't think they get podcasts in heaven.
You'd think the Wi-Fi up there would be pretty good
I doubt they have Wi-Fi.
because of the radiation.
No, because I mean,
They're all connected
I would think they're like connected in. Don't you think?
like a matrix.
I don't know what. I don't know if it's like the Matrix or not. Celestial beings are everywhere.
Jeez. That now you're getting
Now
getting
we're getting
crazy.
deep.
Now I'm uncomfortable.
No, you're not. So, where were we? Where are you going with that?
Don't ask
questioning?
where. Just go with it.
Just okay. So the important point is that saying yes to everything at a certain point is required if you're running a business, but eventually you have to narrow your scope for the good of you and your business and your client.
You will figure out very quickly. And I think there are people who do this much faster than me, or even start out this way. There are people who just, I am a people pleaser. I want harmony, and so I will often say yes to things that I shouldn't because I'm a people pleaser. And that is something, I think that's like the area to start with if you're thinking about starting your business, is really look at your gifting, look at your strengths. Some of those tests really do help. If you will adhere to some of those elements, but also just know what you want to do and figure, it's a challenge because like even saying it feels fraudulent for me, but I know there's A-type personalities out there that are just like so focused on doing just this one thing, and that's the right way to do it for them, but
Potentially. But the experience of doing a thing and failing can most of the time be way more valuable than doing a thing and just having a little bit of success because of what you learn from it.
Yeah.
And I think that's evident throughout all business owners.
I have a friend named Jim, and Jim said the other night, just like offhandedly, he's like, take every risk.
Ooh, that's gnarly of it. That's gnarly.
I think the premise though is like try everything. Like not, and obviously not to go outside your moral compass, but take every risk. Just take calculated every risk, or take small tastes of every risk. But
I would love to break that down with him and what he meant by take every risk, because it doesn't sound like that's a reasonable thing to say, to actually take every risk. So what did he mean by that?
Maybe this is a teaser for the next episode on what does it mean to take the right risk, or what is risky business.
I don't think Tom Cruise would come on.
We haven't asked.
I guess that's a good point.
Why don't we ask?
Since you're listening, Tom Cruise, would you come on and talk about risky business with us? But we don't want any couch jumping and funny laughing.
Well, the risky business would be a man of his age doing the stunts that he does.
That is risky business. Actually,
I love
yes,
that.
Tom Cruise, come on, please.
We would welcome you. This is not your ideal platform, but what do you got to lose? Take the risk.
Or maybe we should have Ben Stiller on as Tom Cruise, because he does probably the best Tom Cruise impression. That might be a better. Ben Stiller, come on as Tom Cruise and talk to us about risks.
See, Tom Cruise almost picked up the phone, and then
shoot.
you just did that.
I did that?
And that...
Tom, I'm kidding. You should come on too. Oh, it would be a great episode. It'd be like the old days on Saturday Night Live when they did those cameos together.
I don't know why they wouldn't. We're likable.
All right. Well...
let's reach out to their agents.
Yes, we will do that. That sounds great.
First, we got to hire our own agent.
But what we need to do is we need to stay in our lane and say yes to the things that fit our scope and not overpromise and underdeliver. We need to underpromise and overdeliver in our businesses.
And never eat liver underdone.
I've never eaten liver. Have you eaten liver?
No. My mom and grandma loved liver and onions, though.
Yeah, it seems like that's a generational thing. I think that's...
Waste not, want not.
Well, this has been the Do Business Show. I'm glad that you all are here. Make sure that you like and subscribe and share and comment. And if you didn't see the post, we'll put it down here in the description, but we also now have a voicemail. You can call and leave a voicemail.
Oh.
Ask us a question, share a comment. You can yell at us, and we may feature it on an episode. So the number is down below, and you can give us a call, leave us a voicemail, and we'll maybe put you on the show.
I dare you.
Oh, wait. Just dare?
Yes. No, none of the others. Just a simple dare.
Not like...
I don't need to level up because they're not here to like level up.
You don't think people are listening to this to level up?
Ooh. No, I double dog.
Just triple dog dare them right now, out the gate.
Nope,
Let's Christmas story it up.
I will not.
I triple dog dare you. Call the number. Until next time, I'm Todd.
And I'm John, Welch's Red Mallard.
Yeah, we didn't even practice that.
Oh, I'm John.
No, that was good.
Oh,
I wasn't
you.
saying do it again.
Have a great day.
Bye, guys.